right, here we go. Pixie GT pushing in slightly on PX. See if they can bait him out a little bit. Blinking structures everywhere, baby. The Saladin holding up. I don't think that's a display glitch. Nope. The good old Saladin Garrison. Now we got an Artemisia.
Oh my god.
All right, let me see. Jadwiga getting swarmed down from PX. Sky Altar bottom side. I don't know. Well, there's a couple reinforcements coming in. Those could come in clutch here in a second. Let's see. They're able to get in. And then we're going to rotate to mid. That's where the fighting should start. Yeah, she's going to hold. She's going to hold. There we go.
Very interesting the fact that PX34 also switched to Cyrus and Nebu as main rallies. What do you think about that?
Man, I wish I knew a lot about archers. All I know is archers. I haven't seen very many good archer rallies in Arc that have actually been successful unless they're getting hit one-on-one. And that's the only thing that I like. I love archers in KVK because you can own the field, do stuff like that. But in Arc, it's going to be very rare that you're going to get a one-on-one without getting swarmed. So that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts on archers in Arc matches?
You mean archers in rally or archers on the open field? Because on the open field, archers are very essential.
Correct. No. I'm talking about archers in rally.
Yeah, I would like to... I mean, I personally will still use tankier rallies. I mean, Cyrus and Nebu is quite tanky. The problem is that when you rally a structure in Arc of Osiris, you don't care about the losses. So you want something that is quick and it has to be backed up by a good swarm. So the swarm has to be properly coordinated. And so any rally you use essentially can be a good rally if you back it up with a good swarm. Probably Zhang Yu and Chandragupta or Zhang Yu and William can be a better choice if you want to redirect your forces immediately to the middle afterwards. But, well, Cyrus and Nebu has proved itself to be a great rally. In the meanwhile, the battle in the middle is starting and skill are about to be popped off.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
See how this goes. Ooh, very interesting. Hitting him with the bog down first. I like it.
What do you think about the pairings being used here? I see a lot of Cyrus, I see a lot of Artemisia, Zhang Yu, Guan Yu, of course, and also Edelfled.
I think they're, being honest with you, I think they're trying to pull the old OV with a bunch of Artemisias, and I feel like it's a lot of AoE. The bad part is they're gonna get hit with a bunch of DPS right now with a bunch of the XY. So you're having Cav go against archers. I don't know. I think it was just a bad choice. Last week they came with a lot of Cav, and right now I'm seeing every Artemisia under the sun, and the XYs are just absolutely melting everybody.
Oh my god, I mean, 60GT melted everything. I mean, 15 seconds to the arc, and PX34 is nowhere to be seen.
They are in the shadow realm, my friend. That is what we referred to that. Yeah, it is blue everywhere.
Let's remember that anyway, the first arc is not determining the outcome of the battle. So the first arc is the arc that, of course, is worth less points. We are talking about 3,000 points. And 500 points will be added for every next arc. And yeah, so PX34 is still in the position to recover, and now it's about the time they should push all the structures.
So the first arc, like you were saying, the first arc's worth 3,000. It's not a make or break arc, okay?
No.
It will give you an advantage. The couple of benefits that it does give you, and you coming from OV, you understand this as well. It allows you the opportunity to control the pace of the match, okay? That is one of the biggest things that you can do. You can hold it for 15, if you can insta cap it, You can refresh all your troops, then cap it, then move forward. Like, it allows you to control the pace of the game. And that is by far probably the most important thing of the first arc, is you will then dictate that. And that's, you know, I have a feeling based on what we just saw, I don't foresee 60 GT holding this very long. I think they're gonna push the mid as hard as they can push it. If they can cap 4 arcs, they're gonna cap 4 arcs. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, though.
Hard push being activated by 60 GT, so probably they are redirecting all those marches in the middle, which are still buffed, by the way, still for a few seconds. I still see the defensive formation, the mystical formation being active. So they are going to redirect all those marches now for a big building push. I suppose they will keep this arc for at least a couple minutes before trying to control the push, the next push for the buildings, and therefore also controlling the time, as you said, when the next arc will be spawned.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try, because if you're watching bottom side altar right now, I think they're just trying to kill off all their marches right now. Then they'll cap it and come out with fresh, and then it's just rinse and repeat. But it's forcing PX to have to rotate back in order to clear all these marches out, so they don't lose their altars. So it's a very smart play from the side of 60 GT. But you are seeing PX. This is, to me, what separates the really, really good teams from the okay teams, is the knowledge of knowing when they need to keep all their troops back or when to keep some and then progress forward. You see that with JST, with 1V. Sometimes you're just like, why are all their marches just marching past everybody? And it's because they understand the idea of presence on the field and not always playing from the back foot. At some point, you're going to have to give up a little bit to get potentially more in the future. So
absolutely, I totally agree. And we still see Jadwiga garrisoning the desert altar, and now the middle desert altar from PX34 is being rallied by 60 GT, who wants to get ahead, wants to try to suicide the low marches, wants to try and take this structure, also because they activated hard push, which I remember being active for 10 minutes. So they have 10 minutes to try and capture a few buildings of the enemy. And let's take a look at the marches warming the actual building. We see Edelfleds, we see Cyrus, an actual rally of archers. So both sides are choosing to rally with Cyrus and Nebu. Then we have Guan Yus, we have Zhang Yus, and then we have Trajans and a few Artemisias. That's very interesting choice of marches. AoE all over the place.
Yeah, this Jadwiga should go down. This is...
Yeah. I think about 10 seconds. I mean, marches are still going in, so I see other people from PX34. No, they might be able to handle on this building. Yeah, they might get in.
That is the benefit right there. When people ask why Jadwiga, because you have fast cab that can quickly reinforce.
Yeah,
and that is the idea of Jadwiga. They're coming from home base. Super fast cab. I'm surprised they're not tile hopping just to get a little bit extra speed right here in this tile south of the altar, just to get in faster. But that's the benefit of Jadwiga, is you can utilize cab. They're faster, they move faster, you can reinforce faster. Everything is escalated because of that. So those clutch reinforcements allowing them to hold. And I did see on the top side altar for 60 GT, they did put a Zenobia in there. So they are using a Zenobia at this point. And the arc was just captured. So 8 minutes until the next arc.
Oh my god. This Jadwiga is holding on to this building beautifully. I mean, Cavs are going in after the other. And they are also pulling out the low marches. I've seen many marches being pulled out. Suicide directly on the rally, because 60 GT is also reinforcing the rally with a few archers that they had around the building during the swarm. And that's a beautiful defense from PX34. I mean, I never doubt that PX34, I never had a single doubt that they had a beautiful coordination. That's what a Hong Kong Legends is famous for, no? You know, a rally on the building, and then a rally on the city, then they split the rally, and then they reinforce the rally on the building, or maybe the marches going on in the building to defend the building one after the other. That's a beautiful coordination right here.
Yeah, well, let's hope this should be, because now that we're looking at the map, PX just lost their altar on top side, and currently right now they're holding 60 GT are holding 3 altars, and we are a little under 7 minutes before the next rotation going mid. So they really need to secure this, get these altars back prior to going in. But 60GT are pushing up super hard. So they got a YSS. They're about to start ticking over on the top side sky altar for on the enemy sky altar for 60GT.
Interesting choice of rally for the Shrine of Life on the bottom side by 60GT. They are rallying with Edward Nebu. And swarming with Edward Tamiris, probably? Let me check. I think that's Tamiris.
They probably thought it was a Zenobia. That's probably why. But
yeah, that's Tamiris.
If you watch enough PX, they may use one Zenobia in structure, but for the most part, they're going to use Jadwiga. So that's an interesting. And just like that, there you go. Shrine of Life being taken by 60GT. The map is blue everywhere. Oh, there you go. PX just took Desert Altar topside away from 60GT. I love that timing. Where's the Zenobia going? No. Why are you marching backwards? Get her in there. Oh. Hopefully there's a Zenobia in there.
There is still a heavy swarm on this Desert Altar from PX34, said that they might be able to actually hold onto this building for a bit longer. I see another YSS going inside, so they know what they are doing. So they want to try and handle this structure for a little bit longer in order to generate a few points to recover from the fact that they are 3,500 points behind. That's an issue.
Which is nothing. And now I will say it wouldn't be an issue if we didn't see that first arc. And I'm hoping that they make some adjustments on the marches that they send to middle and on the side of PX, because the next arc's worth 3,500 points, guys. So I know that a lot of people say, well, it's over. Guys, it's literally the second arc.
Yeah.
We've seen people come back from 10K points.
Yes.
The last, and it's with provisions. This game is nowhere near being over. So there's a Zenobia, just had to march halfway through the map. All right.
Absolutely. I mean, we have seen people come and take the lead on much worse situations. So 2,500 points is nothing. And we see PX34, just take a look at the middle. I mean, take a look at how many 60GT structures, how many structures are blue. So 60GT is taking control over the map. They hold 3 altars, and probably they will recover the other altar that they lost in a little bit because a rally is going on. But why is this happening? Because PX34 knows how much 60GT is strong in the middle, and they want to try to deploy more marches in the middle. But this is one of the reasons why JST lost last game, because they went all in trying to take the other arc, the last arc, and then they lost the grip on the buildings. And will PX34 lose the grip on the buildings as well? Because as of now, they are losing it.
And we're looking at a double points per minute lead in favor of 60GT right now at 790 to smoke. Okay, 790 to 210.
820 to 210. Oh my god, that's a 610 points difference. It means that 60GT each minute is gaining 620 points. And if they continue like this, I mean, they also recover the other altar, so they hold 4 freaking altars and the Shrine of Life. This is awful.
This is gonna be, they're putting a lot of eggs in this middle basket. So, if you're PX and you're investing this kind, that's one of the things that a lot of people, if you're new to Ark of Osiris, you have to understand. Everybody wants to be great at everything. Okay, we all want to be able to hold all buildings and capture all the arcs, but at a certain level, your timing comes into play. Where if you're going to invest heavy in the middle, you understand that the idea on the outside is to delay as long as possible so that you don't lose drastically on points per minute, and in favor of trying to get an arc. But the difficulty comes if you lose buildings and lose the arc, then you get that famous double whammy that we're hoping that doesn't happen, but the numbers are looking nice for 60GT that are about to come in. And
oh yeah, we are already looking at a 5 almost 5,000 points lead, 2.7, 4.7. That's crazy. I mean, that's a great lead to have at minute 34 because, I mean, the first part of the game is a little bit slow because buildings need to be occupied. The first arc is not worth any points, but at minute 34, having already 5,000 points lead is a big deal. So if PX34 don't stop losing buildings when they redirect their marches to the middle, they're not gonna get... I mean, the arc is not gonna count anything, don't you think?
Correct. I do see our first Montezuma primary coming in from the bottom side from PX. If you need some lulz and memes. All right. It's very interesting. They're just not using their strat from last week.
War drums already being used by PX34 to the death by 60 GT. They recognized being on the back foot here and the arc spawning in 1 minute and 10 seconds. So they said, okay, let's freaking go all in and let's try to recover the fact that they went earlier to the middle. Interesting choice.
Oh, man. Well, I think as the team that has to push in, so that's the benefit of being the ones to be there first. Is the closer you get to 0 for the arc spawning, the more you understand that the opponents have to push into you if they are planning on getting the arc. So I think they saw that they had a slight advantage in numbers and just decided to push with a minute coming up. Well, now 30 seconds before the arc. But you're going to see a lot of sad faces coming out here in a hot second.
Oh my god. I see 7 marches dead from PX34, 1 from 60 GT. 7-to-1 ratio. I mean, PX34 is about to get smoked again. That's crazy.
And just like that.
Oh my.
It is a blue wall. It's the blue tidal wave just coming in.
It's done. They cannot get this arc. PX34 has zero chances to get a hold of this arc.
We have faith in Montezuma out here on the bottom side. Paranoia.
Moctezuma. Rest in pieces. 3, 2, 1. Rest in pieces.
Oh man. And there goes the arc.
And there goes the arc. This is done. I mean, not even a contest. Not even a single contest. I mean, guys, please drop some Fs in the chat from 60GT being so aggressive in the middle. I've never seen such an impenetrable wall of marches just pushing through and smoking them. They literally smoked PX34. That's a big GG right there for this arc.
Yeah, that was, you know, and it comes back to the XYs. You know, I hate to say it, but when they pushed in, look, there's so many on the field. Literally, I feel like every single player who's going mid for 100% has an XY, and they are full sending. The only saving grace is that we're re-looking at the map, and they were able to at least kind of reset the structure game if you're on PX, but you're losing the arc. That's going to put you up another 3,500. We're looking at an 8K difference once they cap this, you know, and that's the last arc. Well, not the last. It could be. We could potentially still see 2 arcs. So 60 GT did blow or utilize their to the death. So I know that PX uses theirs as well. So they do use it. So I expect them to pop it the next rotation. So the next one will be worth 4,000 points. So we're going to keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, they reset the building game a little bit before the arc spawn, so the map was basically split half and a half for a little bit. They generated 590 points per minute equal. I remember on the map being in total 1,180 points. But now they managed to get one of the altars for just a couple minutes, maybe even less, and 60GT is again on the front foot, trying to push the buildings, and they already got the Shrine of Life, which is not a super relevant structure, giving only 80 points per minute for continuous occupation, and already having a YSS inside. So I don't know how they're doing that, but it's working beautifully for them, don't you think?
Am I looking at a mixed XY rally? What's going on, PX? Going on the bottom side.
Yeah, they are a little bit anxious in this moment because they did not expect them to be so coordinated both in the middle and on the structure game, because they made the same mistake that JST did. I mean, when you see such an overwhelming force in the middle, you try and just go and try to deploy as many marches as you can without sacrifice the buildings. But what's the balance point? I mean, what's the point where you say, okay, we are deploying too many marches to the middle and we risk to lose the grip on the buildings?
I kind of want to keep our eyes on 60GT. I know that they want to win every arc. Okay, I know that they want to do that. I really do feel like if they switch it up this third rotation and send less and then take all the structures in the process, I think that could be that final blow right there, because they could possibly win the middle, but you know that PX are going to pull out to the death. You know that it's coming. They could try to counter strat it, you know, if they have Heaven's Grace or whatever they want to try to do. But I really feel like they're just dominating on the structures right now. And, you know, if they get that 800 or 200 point per minute lead, that arc would be essentially worth nothing, you know? So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think not the pride factor, but the being as dominant as they've been in mid, I still think they're going to do it, but I think it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do next rotation.
So I want to point out something. If you go and watch the space in between the two altars on the left side, some marches were going to the Shrine of War and they redirected directly to the Desert Altar, to the Sky Altar, recognizing that that's the best solution to try and recover some points. Point number 2 is that 60GT has an arc in the bank. This Takeda right here is waiting, is chilling, is trying to wait the order from the leaders of the team to deliver this arc. This arc will be worth 3,500 points, which plus 19,000 that they already get will put them in a position to have 22.5 thousand points, almost 10,000 points more than the opposing side. And they also control the timing for the next arc. But we have also seen that PX34 saved the points in the middle, while 60GT used to the death, which I remember being a one-time skill in the entire game, and PX34 only replied with the attack skill, I believe, right?
Correct. They didn't utilize very many skills. Coming on the bottom side, once again, Archer Rally coming through, but look at the numbers on the Desert Altar that are coming in. Blue, this is, well, some, you know, it's a little bit late now, but the concept that I was talking about, where you'll see some younger teams, when they see a march in the open field and they're just like, all right, 5 send, you know, like, it's just like, you see a march, it's like a dog and squirrels, you know, they see this squirrel and then they'll immediately forget what they were supposed to do. You don't see that with the very coordinated teams. Like, if they have to march past somebody randomly in the middle of nowhere, they will. And that's what you're seeing with 60GT, with JST, with OB, with all these great teams. They understand that there's a mission that you need to stay focused. If you needed to get to this point, you get to that point, regardless of if there's a random march that you know you could beat in the middle of nowhere. And that's just map presence and map awareness.
That's amazing. And I totally agree with what you said. And 60GT already possessing 3 of the 4 altars. I mean, PX34 managed to get 1 Desert Altar and put a YSS inside, so they will be able to handle this, but there are so many marches around, this YSS will go down in probably maximum 10 seconds. But they already own 3 altars, and if we take a look at the points per minute, it's 560 points per minute over to 440, but this score is gonna change. In fact, 560 to 290. Oh my god.
And they're about to capture this Desert Altar, so it's about to change again. Here it comes.
And they got the Shrine of Life 2 on the bottom.
710 to 210.
No, zoom out the map. Zoom out the map. Check the structure that still have to be occupied. So in 40 seconds, they will reoccupy the Desert Altar that they lost. And in 40 seconds, they will also generate 80 points per minute with the Shrine of Life. So this score right here, even if now they got 1 obelisk and 1 outpost, this score is gonna tip over again to 60GT, even worse than before, probably 800 to 200. And the third arc is gonna happen. Now it's the time to deliver this arc because they are on the back foot.
PX did take the 60GT obelisk, so we got a minute 20. I have a feeling they at least have some garrison in there, but it's something to keep an eye on the bottom side. So we're gonna see. There's still plenty of time. It's 25 minutes. They could still get 1 player if there are a couple players to get up there and just make it absolutely annoying. But let's see. 1 minute.
I think this is the time. This is the time to deliver the arc. I mean, in the next 30 seconds, probably we will assist to an arc delivery. Even if they are losing the grip on the buildings on the left side, so the left side team from PX34 is doing a great job. They got 2 altars, so they got back their altar, and they got the enemy's sky altar, and also they got the obelisk and the outpost for a few seconds.
We have altars blinking on both sides right now. There's a Jadwiga again. Can't say this enough, guys. The fact that Jadwiga is holding up so well. I think we've seen Zenobia a couple times in buildings when everybody's saying, especially in Arc, that Zenobia is the meta, and you're seeing the 2 top teams that are utilizing very little of Zenobia, but it plays to their strengths, and that's the part that people need to understand. It plays to their strengths. They are sending a lot of cav marches, so it plays to that. That's the downside to me of having Zenobia, especially on a forward, like an enemy-facing structure, is by time you get your infantry all the way across the map, you're very low on troops, or you lose the structure. So having Jadwiga and fast cav coming all the time, it plays to their strength. So
I mean, at this point, 60GT is trolling them. They are not even delivering the arc. I don't know what they are waiting for. This should be the perfect timing because they reset their marches because PX34 got the buildings back. So it means that they are trying to... They had all the marches coming back dead, and they are also pushing the Shrine of War. So their marches are very, very, very far. Are they maybe waiting? Yeah, I don't know.
Look at the Shrine of War bottom side. Look at all the marches coming from PX. They might just be holding out for one more wave to clear out PX, and then they'll cap it and then rotate towards mid, possibly.
Possibly.
I also think they're trying to make it so that they could possibly, well, no, because it's 5 minutes. They could just reset it. They could pull an LIG versus 1AVG and just they understand that they know PX has to the death, and they just might not cap it. They're dominating on the occupation. You know, risk it for the biscuit for one arc. You know, I don't know. I think they could be playing the numbers game. They might just be waiting to clear people out. I just don't see 60GT being the type of team to hold the arc for the next 22 minutes. So
I mean, they have 6,400 points different, 6,400 points different now. And they also have an arc in the bank, which I remember being the second arc, so worth 3,500 points. It means that they literally are 10,000 points ahead. This is not a small difference, especially at minute 21. So they are maybe trying to do... I'm supposing now, okay? I'm supposing this. Why isn't 60GT delivering this arc? Because probably they are afraid that another situation like JST will happen again and the game will be too close. So if they delivered this arc 3 minutes ago, probably this would have been a 4-arc game. So in order to prevent maybe 2 arc capture from the enemy, they are saying, okay, maybe they are going all in on the next 2 arcs, they will start provisioning, and this game might be risky. This might be too close for us. So they are holding on this arc in order to have just 1 final arc. So they want a 3-arc game. Eventually they need to deliver this arc.
So just so people understand, this situation has actually happened in Osiris League. It was a 114K match where they were down by 10,000 points going into the 3rd arc. Okay. Then 114K ended up winning the arc. Okay. They ran it back and held it for the last, I think it was like 20-25 minutes. They resent out provisions. They tripled the amount of provisioners that they had, and they held the structure game. And within the last 10 minutes, they neutralized the altars constantly. And after they capped it, they ran the provisions, and with the neutrals, they ended up coming back to win by less than 500 points. So for people that says it's not a win-win, like not a winning scenario, it's happened already. I'm not saying it will happen today, but it has happened before. So no lead is safe. So by limiting the amount of arcs that they could potentially cap, you're just building your cushion up a little bit, because right now points per minute, they're constantly in favor of 60GT, so it only benefits them.
I probably think that the occupational score will be skewed in favor of 60GT by about 4,000 at least at the end. From 3.5 to 5,000, yeah.
So 2.5 minutes if they don't drop the arc.
And they occupy the Shrine of Life, 670 points per minute to 360. That's a 310 points per difference. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think they definitely are gonna rewatch this back. See, like they have to counter the XY stuff. The XY is what's killing them right now. Whether they bring out their XYs or whatever they got to do to counter it, very similar to how when last season with OV and V636 and just countering each other in middle and developing strats, they're gonna have to develop a strat to counter these XYs. The XY is just crippling them right now. You know, and that's a tough one to swallow right there.
Well, let's remember something. This is a best of 3 grand final now. So PX34, in case they lose this game, which I think will probably happen, PX34 will have to face 60GT again. And if they win, they will go to game 3, just like it happened to us, OV against V636 in the Invitational Season 3. We won the first game, V636 won the second game, and then we won the third. But this is not a best of 1 game, so they need to play the long run. So maybe they want to save some strategies for the second game. I'm sure they have multiple strategies in case they lost the first game.
You're starting to see more Chandra Montezumas coming back out for PX. So I
look
think
at the
it's too little
structures.
too late.
Look at the structures.
All right. Oh,
Oh shoot. I mean, they own 4 altars. They recovered the Shrine of War. They have everything. I mean, look at the points per minute, 510, 660 to 290, and that's only gonna increase in the moment they occupy again the Desert Altar and the Shrine of War, and that's gonna happen in about 30 seconds.
And the arc was just captured, so we got the 8-minute countdown. This will be the last arc, so it'll only get 3. So the last one will be worth 4,000 points. Hey, if you're PX, you know, it ain't over till it's over, but god dang, you need to be putting it into high gear. I think this last arc, even if PX lose, it'll be a nice opportunity for them to test out something new, whether they bring out the Chandra Montezuma, whatever, so that they can learn for next match. Because I think you're gonna see 60GT continuously have success in middle. So testing stuff out, even if they lose, just getting some knowledge on, you know, what it's gonna run with, you know, they should be using to the death. So it's gonna be very interesting to watch that one.
Please look at the PPM, look at the points per minute, 890 to 290. That's a 600 points per minute difference. If they keep this, and I believe that part of this they are gonna keep because they have so many marches to reinforce the structure. I mean, that's potentially, if they take next arc, that's potentially gonna be a 20,000 points delta at the end of the game.
Now look at, and this is what a lot of people, when you're playing against JST, 1V, OV, the forward map presence is always, so I'm looking top side on the Sky Altar on the well, it'd be the enemy for 60GT, but just look at the amount of blue marches that are on the enemy's structure. You know what I mean? You'll see this a lot with JST, where it's that awkward space in between the altar and your obelisk, where they're just punishing you as you're trying to come and reinforce or do whatever. You'll see this a lot with those teams. So it's very hard to break this, you know. And that's, once they start pushing up, which you should start seeing. Look, you're gonna start seeing all these marches get picked off one by one, trying to come and help with this altar.
I mean, PX34 is absolutely losing the grip. I mean, they just recovered one of the 2 altars. The Sky Altar is still very well protected. Just look at the Sky Altar on the right side. They have so many marches around. They can reinforce this potentially for another 4 minutes, at least.
So in Italy, you're gonna have to come out like smashing grapes, or we're gonna have to come up with something for you.
Yeah.
You gotta get somebody saying making vino out here. No, I'm just playing. We're gonna have to, let me see, the obelisk blinking again. We got 5 minutes. We're gonna see how much they invest. See how much they invest.
Not much. I think they're a little bit demotivated now. I mean, I think this is pretty much a done deal. Nothing can happen from preventing 60GT to win this game.
I will say this: they are switching up the marches that are going in middle. tougher on the side of PX.
They
from
are
what
doing
I'm
that.
looking at right now. So, like I said, you know, I think they understand the situation they're in. So what they're gonna do here is they're gonna test out something new, because I haven't seen them use this many Guans in the middle. And XYs, yeah, it's full Guan and XY combo in middle. There's some Trajans, so this is definitely a way different than what we've been seeing. So I think they're gonna test something out to see if it works against their XY counterparts, and that way for next match they have some information, because they got clapped by these XYs today.
Yes, they totally did. I think they deployed too many cavalry marches. This inevitably weakens your strategy. I mean, it's gonna be fast, especially in an invitational game where, as we said, you don't have equipment, so you don't have any march speed going around. But that's tough. That's really tough. I think 60GT is potentially gonna take even the third arc and put this game at a 20,000 points difference at the end.
Put that nail in the coffin. Yeah. Oh man. So they're gonna use to the death and still lose the middle. That's a
Probably.
That's
Probably
gonna be a little ego strike right there, because coming in, I know PX, I believe, had barely lost in middle. Like they really hadn't lost. Like they were that good where they really hadn't been losing, even against V636, against all these really, really good teams. They weren't losing middle. So
yeah.
The fact that they're getting pounded as hard as they are in middle is a true testament of how good 60GT's mid game is, and we're gonna see, you know, to the death's coming. So we're gonna see how well that they're gonna counter this, and how many XYs, and if they're gonna counter it.
Well,
XY.
3 minutes to the spawn of the final arc of this game, because I remember after this there is not gonna be anything. And 60GT got the Shrine of War, and they got the Desert Altar. So even before pushing for the final arc, now they are redirecting to the middle. So PX34 has a unique chance. Maybe 60GT, they are giving up to the arc to focus on the structure. But anyway, PX34 will have to the death and potentially also attack and defense. So they will have 3 skills which will cost 10 points. So the full points bar, and if they lose this arc, they are gonna be really demoralized for the next game, I believe.
I don't like this play. I think they're trying to play on the numbers, but 60GT is gonna let them just look. They're dancing around them. Look at this. They're splitting them. They're gonna go on the left and the right just to draw them out. Oh, dude. They're baiting them so hard in the middle. Just reset.
So much pressure from 60GT right now. You know, psychological pressure on the opponents. But the numbers are real. I think there is a good chance that 60GT loses this arc.
I don't know, dude. They're baiting them out pretty good with 2 minutes left. Look,
Mystical formation, war drums from PX34. So defense from the blue team, attack from the red team, matching their colors.
Well, they drew out the skill super early. They didn't pop to the death either. Oh, no, they just did. As we said, to the death.
Probably on this big circle here. Yes, you can see the animation going on this bigger bunch of marches. So let's see if they will actually manage. Okay, so attack, defense to the death. I told you. They used all 3 skills because they saved up the points. I believe they had the full points bar from a little bit now, which is never healthy to have, to be honest. Especially if you are on the losing side. And I remember with the new Arc of Osiris rules, you're gonna get much more points regeneration if you're losing.
Look at what Sam's doing in the middle, right by the arc zone. He's just causing chaos. And this is what some teams will actually do, is they'll just send 5 marches just to attack the arc runners.
Yeah.
So that you're forced to carry it with, you know, a Guan or whatever, you know, just a really slow march.
Yeah, that's our Sam from OV. Hi, Sam. I hope you're well.
But look at the red murder ball. I don't know if it was the marches, but look at how many XYs and Guans you know, it could definitely be due to the skills. We won't say that it didn't have anything to do with it because it definitely did.
Yeah,
Um,
but 60GT just gave it up. I mean, just take a look at the buildings and just take a look at the points per minute. 970 points to 210. In the time they will take this arc, they will have generated more points from the actual buildings.
there you go. The quick call was made though from PX, so they are rotating forward, still having their skills on them. So they're gonna try to reset some structures, and this topside desert altar could be in trouble in 60GT if these marches can get there with some skill action on it.
Nah, 60GT has already many marches coming on because they were in a much favorable position, because they have been killed there, so they have the time to refresh and defend this Shrine of War. And in the meantime, they are generating so many points from the opposing side structures. They have the Shrine of Life, they have 2 enemy altars, they have an outpost. I mean, that's just insane. 970 points per minute to 180. That's almost 790 points per minute difference.
I do like the idea that PX are still trying to apply pressure because they went into 3 different directions from mid. So they broke out and went to the bottom altar to try to recap that. So they have a wall of marches going there, including the arc, which I don't know why you would go in that direction. But and then the top side, they swarmed around there, which is what we were talking about earlier. And then they rotated bottom side to the Shrine of War, which they are now getting to. So, you know, a lot of teams would full retreat and have both wrap around on bottom side, especially when you're trying to catch up. I like the idea that they're trying to neutralize as many structures as possible. They still got 7 minutes left, but you know, this arc's only worth 4,000 points. So it's, I hate to say it, but we are at 1,000 points per minute to 180.
Oh my god, that's 100. That's 820 points per minute difference. Now, even more, 850, 1,000 points per minute to 150. That's oh my god, that's unbelievable.
They're even taking their outpost at this point.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing that PX34 is doing, because they recognize they have lost about mid-game, so 30 minutes in the game, the only thing they are trying to do is to gather some intel, you know, to try to see how pushing at a certain moment, a certain structure, in a certain way with certain marches is going to work out for them. Maybe trying to gather some intel for the game number 2, but at this point, if they don't change up their strategy, game 2 is gonna be a roast all over again.
Yeah. I think they'll go back. So this is where PX are very, very good. This is where I would say formerly HKL and PX currently right now are very good, is going back, licking the wounds, watching, and then building a counter strat for stuff that you think is going to happen. And from what we've been seeing from 60GT, I wouldn't expect anything different. You know, they clearly have found a recipe that works for them. They took out JST. They're now going to beat PX. I think it's up to PX to come up with a strategy that's going to then counter out 60GT. And they definitely have the minds to do it. So,
sure,
you know, kudos to 60GT. They came out and swung for the fences and knocked it out of the park again, you know. But I think the next match is going to be very, very close. I think it would be a lot closer just because I know PX and they will work on counter stratting the XY, because right now the XY is what's killing them right now. It really, really is. So
the fact is that, I mean, I didn't bet on any team, but I predicted this could happen, you know, as wing like that. PX34 has now escorted the arc, and they're about 14,000 points difference, 13.7, but that's not gonna help them on a game number 2 if they really don't change up the strategy a lot. And we know that PX can do it. I mean, former Hong Kong legends, they know how to change strategies. I hope that this game, this sound drubbing, this sound beating, will help them to at least gather some intel, maybe changing up the pairings, maybe stop defending with Jadwiga, sending less cavalry weak marches in the middle, because that's not gonna work for them. Holy moly.
They actually did a lot better with even with the skills and with all that when they send their Guans and XYs and like a different combo. They survived a lot longer than what they were surviving with previously. So, you know, that may be something they're gonna have to adapt and change. You know, their Jadwigas, it's very ironic. Their Jadwigas aren't holding up nearly as good as 60 GT. So that's definitely something they're gonna have to look into too, especially looking at when we look at occupation in the final, you know, tail of the tape. It's going to be pretty eye-opening considering they're both using Jadwiga, but she was not created equal for both sides. So.
Oh no, definitely not. They have all the outposts. Sorry.
And what makes it even worse is there's no equipment, so you can't even say Ende's Jadwiga equipment is nutty. There's no equipment, so
no, there is not.
It's just pure.
That's just strategy. So I will say this about the people still speaking in the chat about VIP 18, etc. I spoke to Lilith, and they recognized. They, you know, openly told me, yes, we recognize that VIP 18 is something that should not have happened in this tournament. And they said it was too late now to change things up and to remove VIP 18 from the benefits of the tournament. I disclaimer, VIP 18 does not matter for the final outcome. It's not strictly determining, but still, if you want to, you know, hold an international tournament and you want to do everything equal, so troops number, commanders, no equipment, I don't see why you should also not remove the VIP benefits. That's just a suggestion for the next invitational, and I have been told that probably they're gonna do that, so they're gonna level up the field even more. Not to have people speaking about, oh, okay, it happened because we don't want a because of.
I would rather them give everybody VIP 18, at least for the match.
Yeah, why not?
Right now, at least so it's level, because the benefits of the march speed and everything, I think we're noticing the differences outside. And if you were to add equipment in here, like I don't want to say equipment because being realistic, I don't think there's really any way to really do that. But the idea that it increases map presence and speed on the field, you have less downtime and more fighting, which is I think what everybody wants.
Yes.
So I would advise, instead of removing it, I would say give it to
everybody
for the match. That way everybody can benefit from the same VIP, and it also helps with the casting and expediting more fighting instead of marching. And
but also the fact that even if, I mean, they to speed up the battle, they gave to everybody an extra damage on the field. Okay, when you are in Ark of Osiris, all of your troops get a multiplicative buff, so you're gonna deal more damage to expedite the battles on the field. So why not giving us some extra march speed, like a 50% extra march speed, like there is in Champions of Olympia, of course, or in some other game modes like PVM, for example, Ian's Ballad, just to make an example. This could make the game even more interesting, shuffling things up, creating space for new strategies and new commander combinations. What do you think about that?
I like that idea. I also would add on to it. I think if they reduce the map size by maybe like 30%.
Yeah, 20%.
The gaps between the gate and and your shrines. So reducing that, and then reducing slightly in between like the altars and shrine, in reducing that a little bit and making the map maybe like 30% smaller. I think it fixes a lot of the stuff, because then we're not spectating a lot of people marching, and it's more like, oh, they're leaving their city within 20-30 seconds, they're already brawling again. So I think it makes it a little bit more chaotic, I would say that. But I think that's what this whole game, like, we play KVK, we play Ark. At some point, you just want to see it chaotic, and that's what I think it makes it a great spectator experience.
And 60GT Pearl, our nice Pearl. Hi Pearl, it's another player from OV. I've seen many players from OV doing good today on the field. Peanut Bunny, Sleepy Owl, Pearl, and Sam. Makes me proud. And yeah, congratulations to 60GT. I mean, this was not a result that we were waiting until the very last second. We knew that 60GT was gonna win, and we have 13. Oh my god, 13,500 occupational score difference.
That guys, that's not. I don't want to hear anybody saying VIP 8, guys. 13,000 occupation difference. That's just momentum, game planning, strategy. That's what it is. Swarm choices for marches, like they did it, and they were using different stuff. You know, remember 60GT were utilizing archer rallies. The stuff that everybody keeps saying, like even myself, you know, I rarely see an effective archer rally coming through in Arc, but they were utilizing that. They were utilizing Jadwiga. They were literally utilizing a lot of things that nobody gives the light of day. It's always Zenobia, or it's Attila, or you know, the older meta. So they're coming out with some different unique stuff. So I'm very, very impressed with 60GT.
Congratulations to 60GT. I now want to thank you, Bulba, for dual casting this game for me, and I want to apologize to my community for experiencing a crash mid-stream. It happens. My connection is like very bad today, but I will fix this for hopefully for the next cast. It was such a pleasure to cast with you again, Bulba, and definitely let's do it again. And thank you for having me.
All right. Yay. We'll do it again, my friend.
We'll do it again.
And congrats on all the success, and we wish you much, much more. Make sure, fam, y'all always hear it. Make sure if you're on either one of our streams, drop a like, drop a sub, do all that kind of fun stuff. Support your content creators, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for y'all, and we hope y'all appreciate it. And you know, well, y'all appreciate it. So I appreciate the opportunity, my friend, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yes. Thank you, Bulba. I'm gonna now open some chests on my stream. You have a good day. You have a good day.
Too.
Bye. So, guys, thanks to Bulba. Yeah, if you can, please drop a like on the stream of Bulba as well. The link is in the pinned comment. I apologize again for being crashed. Let's open these Kingdom supply chests, shall we? I have 102. Let's use them to see what I get. 9 leather, 14 purple sculpture, starlight sculptures, 2 epic leather, 1 iron ore, some individual credits, random blueprints, some 10 8-hour speed ups, 3 ebony elite, animal bone, stone wood, 3 24-hour speed ups, only 2 3-day speed ups, 6 gold stars, 1,000 gems here, 5 iron ore, blue iron, individual credits, which are always good. Another 350 gems, 2 leathers, 2,000 gems right here. I mean, not bad, not super good either. What I'm gonna do now, still I haven't spent my gems on today's more than gems. I usually spend 7,000. I'm gonna boost my VIP level, you know that? Because I want to reach 17 as soon as possible. So 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. Yeah, it's not wasted, guys. Sooner or later I'm reaching my target on the VIP level, and I got my 5 gold stars, and my 5 gold sculptures, and yeah, I think I'm done. Let me open some keys. So again, guys, my apologies for the crash, and I hope you still enjoyed a lower quality stream on a technical standpoint because of my connection. A video about Pakal is coming up. So as soon as I wrap up this stream, we have already tested Pakal in Rally in a neutral scenario, and I hope you will love the video because it's a lot of work that I've been doing on that video. So I'm gonna go and edit the video right now, and after this stream ends, I will probably publish the video. So join my Discord, the link is down below. I will post the link of the video, or just subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for notification, because today I will post my Pakal testing video. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. I hope that next week the quality of the stream will be better. I hope that I I hope this every single week. But yeah, today was a little bit disappointing. Apologies again for that. And I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.